there is an agenda here.
Freedom or liberty?
Freedom.
It's all about freedom.
Well, you've got your whole life ahead of you, and this is why we need to make this this stand, isn't it? Situation now where young people, certain young people, can't get on an aeroplane and travel, or it's increasingly looking like it. It's certainly that way in some countries already, purely based on their health choices. It's unacceptable, Willsey. Same thing with a nightclub. I mean, imagine celebrating your 18th, which traditionally in this country is you go out and get hammered with all your mates, and they're all allowed in the club, but you're held up on the steps, not by an officer of the law or anybody in this capacity, but by a nightclub doorman that decides what you can and can't do. This is not the freedom that we fought for. And it's certainly not the freedom that our colleagues and forebears died for. And it's time to start saying no, which is obviously what we're doing today.
Do you think this is the thin end of the wedge?
In what respect?
Well, the restrictions and apartheid that they're putting on, they're putting in these passport schemes in Scotland and in Wales. Do you think that this is going to possibly get worse, or they're going to try pushing this more?
Oh, they're pushing this as much as they possibly can without overstretching their agenda and exposing the holes in it, the holes that all of us can see. Yeah, of course. I mean, you've got people on remote Polynesian islands that have likely never seen a Westerner, and yet they're, how can we say, wearing certain things on their feet and jumping into hedges when their next door neighbour walks past. The next door neighbour that they've lived next to for probably the last 30-40 years. This is the power that these individuals have that are controlling. So is this the thin end? Yeah, of course it is. We are seeing removal of our freedom. That's it.
And what do you think about the sort of subversion of our constitution that many people have died for?
I've got Red Bull.
Well, what can you say? I think a lot of people don't even realise in England, speaking as an Englishman, that we have a constitution. In fact, I believe it was what the American constitution was based upon. And you can see how much Americans use their constitution for righteousness, to do what is right, not people's opinion, not what corporate trillionaires want, but what is right for a sovereign human being under Mother Nature. Call that universe, call that God, whatever your chosen metaphor is. And we need to start dialing it back to that. We need to start shedding the fear. We need to start moving away from this mainstream media and the mainstream media support of this narrative. And the sooner we do, the sooner we can create the future for our children that they deserve. And it's not the one that we're heading to now, unless people say no to it. And it's okay to say no. And as a veteran, it's your duty to say no, because you know, we essentially swore an oath without getting into semantics or wordplay. We joined up because we wanted to be the good guys, and we wanted to protect our families and our communities and our lands from tyranny. And yet here we have it now, as I said with the global example. This tyranny is just far-reaching. It's in every single household, the world over. It's powerful, and it's not to be feared, because that's the main weapon of the so-called elites, is to keep people all living in their ego, all living in anger, fear, greed, gluttony, jealousy, feeling insecure about themselves, about the way they look, all these powerful narratives that are just pumped at our children every single day through, well, that box in the corner of the room, isn't it? Through their phones. And what it does is it cuts people off from realizing that life is so much bigger, so much bigger. You know, we're essentially a set of carbon molecules, no different to any other form throughout the universe. So we are the universe experiencing itself. And what the elites are very good at is to cut you off from that understanding, because when you realize we're all the universe, you don't have to live in this sphere, because you can't go anywhere. I mean, you literally, I might change forms from this birth certificate identity that people refer to as Chris, but you know, I would just become something different. Hopefully something more beautiful. Lots of things, right? I mean,
nothing could be more beautiful than you, Chris.
Wow, you're an honest man, Willsey, and
you're a very humble man.
I appreciate that.
There is an agenda here.
Freedom or liberty?
Freedom.
It's all about freedom.